All right. So what do we have here? Well, that's been like it's been a huge week in terms of that. I wonder what we're gonna get next week. The partner preview this week was also good. I thought it was good. Not the best showcase in the world, but I thought it was actually very good for just new games that were shown off. And 14 games going to Game Pass is massive. Had every game play anywhere. How many games did they show off? Like 19. They were all play anywhere. Definitely a handful of games that I'm interested in checking out as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. We had some terrible takes on that. I talked about it in my video on Friday with the whole kind of funny and like the Greg Miller stuff. I just think it's just my opinion, but the kind of funny is one of the most annoying outlets out there. It's one of the most annoying outlets, just like a bunch of like actors. So it's not even the take, it's just like the way that the take is presented as well. It's also a bad take. Like saying that the show is awful is just not true. But what do we have next? Forza Horizon 6 in May, I think Killing in April. So there's lots of Xbox stuff that is dropping. People are gonna have to figure out buy hardware though, or most people. A lot of people already have their hardware, but still, the prices are pretty nuts. Wonder how many people are sitting there right now thinking, should they buy a PS5 because the prices are going up on April 2nd? Problem is that I'm worried that people who buy Series X now won't buy the next gen console later. Gonna have cannibalize. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I feel like the Series X and Series S, from their perspective, is they're gonna support it for like all of the next generation. So they just want you in again. They just want you into their ecosystem. They know the Project Helix is going to be a very niche product that the enthusiasts are going to purchase. Enthusiasts already have their console. Somebody who has not bought an Xbox now already 6 years into the generation and are only going to buy it because of a price decrease or something, we aren't going to buy a Project Helix anyways because it's going to be way out of their budget and they're obviously not hardcore enough into the ecosystem to care about it. So I don't think I think the demographics of people they would be targeting with a price decrease for the Series X and Series S are not the same people that would end up going out and buying a Project Helix anyways. So, like for me, I'm buying Project Helix, regardless of the price change. If they lower the price of the Series X or not, I've had a Series X since day one, and probably a lot of people here as well. So I don't think that makes a big deal. It's basically to target the people who haven't bought into the ecosystem yet. And yeah, people could trade it in if they want to upgrade as well. The PlayStation fanboys are funny. Say it's a bad presentation, but are happy to play the games. Isn't Starfield like on top of their pre-order list? So I don't know if Helix will have a lighter or cheaper version. I don't think so. I think there's only gonna be one version. And then because they have the handhelds now, which is like the cheaper entry if you want hardware. I think the big get for Xbox is getting GTA 6 on the cloud. Imagine they did that. I just don't see it though. Well, if it's yeah, you know what? They could end up that could end up happening because if it's just to play the games that you own on the cloud, regardless, people still have to purchase the game. Yeah, that would be a big get. That would be big if they're able to do that. They're able to get GTA 6 on the cloud, that would be massive. Imagine like GTA 6 when drops for PC ends up being play anywhere on Xbox as well. That would also be a massive thing. I don't see that happening, but it would be huge. OEM helixes are possible. I agree. Yeah, I think there will be OEMs. That yeah, I do think there will be OEMs, which will be a cheaper option. Because way I understand it is that SoC that they're building with AMD is going to be able to be utilized across multiple different pieces of hardware. It's not going to have to be locked down to Project Helix. And I guess Xbox would make money off of that as well, selling those if to make these like dedicated, fully backwards compatible console PC hybrid devices. And I would say, like, if you look at the handheld market, there is absolutely a market for that. And they're probably looking at that and saying that could translate as well into the home console market, especially if you can offer cheaper OEM versions, which will get into people's homes as well. Starfield is number one on the PlayStation pre-order list. Yeah, not shocking. Not shocking. It's going to be a game of the generation now. I think Helix is going to be huge. I'm excited for it. I just don't know how much it's going to sell. I don't know, especially because of the price. But I just don't think consoles next gen are going to sell nearly as well as they have over the last number of generations because of the pricing. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, OEMs will be interesting. I think the Helix will be the baseline. Like I think you'll see OEM consoles more powerful and less powerful, but it'll be right there in the middle where you have to optimize it for. I mean, the whole Helix family of OEMs, yeah, it could. That could be big. Again, I think if they have lower entry points, like if they can get OEM Helixes that are selling at like regular console prices that people have been using consoles forever, think about like $300 to $500 price range, that will be massive, especially if they can market it as, yeah, you get to play the whole console side as well. You get your console games, you get the stuff that you've already purchased on your Xbox. If you just want to access them, you just buy the cheaper OEM version. What is interesting about the OEM stuff is that the rumors we were hearing before we started hearing more about Project Helix and predictions that it's coming out the end of 2027 is a lot of people thought OEM was going to be out before Project Helix comes out. And I don't think that's going to be the case. But I do think we're going to hear more about Project Helix this year, hopefully at the June showcase. That'll be big. I hope if this year's June showcase, I hope that if we're getting hardware information there and they're not saving it for like the Game Awards or something like that. The only reason I could see them saving it for a Game Awards show is like similar to what they did with the Series X. Is the Game Awards to me appeals to a far broader casual audience comparatively to the Xbox June Showcase, which I think appeals to more of like a hardcore gamer audience. The Game Awards, you have people who probably don't even play very many games watching it if they play any, right? So maybe that's why they try to announce stuff there so they can try to reach more people. But I hope if they have the big hardware announcements, either they have their own separate showcase for it or they're doing it at like the June showcase. But I actually I think having our own separate thing specifically where they announce this is a showcase for hardware and then so people can like get excited and prepare for rather than like a surprise would be cool, but I think they should do like a separate hardware showcase as well this year. Because we've already gone in developer direct, we've gone in partner showcase. We know we're getting a June showcase. We're hearing there's going to be another developer direct. So to celebrate 25th anniversary, why not have like a 25th anniversary hardware showcase where they talk about and show us more Project Helix? They have to because we've been teased about it twice now. Yeah, it's true. Like we could be seeing it here. I suppose a big opportunity. Clearly seen how well the Series S sold thanks to its lower price. That they have every reason to offer cheaper versions. Yeah, and that's why I think even now they should lower the price of the Series X and Series S, do like a crazy marketing campaign. Not even crazy, but just like remember how like PS4 had that this is how you share your games. They could do something similar to that against the PS5 price decreases, lower the price of the Series X and Series S and try to sell more before the end of this year or even before Project Helix does come out. Age verification started in the US with Xbox Windows. I don't know. I'm not in the US, but I haven't had any age verification stuff here where I am. And that's at the June showcase and again at the Game Awards. Yeah, you could do both. OEMs are going to be like, get what you want and they will be billed it per customer when Helix becomes the option. Could be cool. Could be interesting. The thing with like making it so customizable, I wonder how that affects building it and the cost. Because one of the things, if it's so get what you want, it's like they have to, I guess, yeah, build per customer. That would be onto the OEMs anyways. Xbox wouldn't care about that. But if you want to get the Helix SoC on your build, then you can get that as like you can build your own console. That would be kind of cool. Kind of customize it.